Hello viewers, Maswera say, very good evening. So July Moyo reversed his initial instruction to force each and every council to purchase a fire tender. And I believe that this is a humiliation and victory for the CCC MPs who started this issue in Parliament. And also, I would want to thank the ZANU-PF MPs who also stood and asked the very important questions which made July Moyo to end up reversing his initial plan for every council to have a fire tender, because the issues which was being raised are very important issues. So let's get into his video, admitting indeed that it was wrong for him to do so, and when he spoke, um, reversing and changing his initial statement. Let's get into the video so that we get to the conclusion of the matter.
Is now taken care of. The fifth area is social amenities. This is the area where you are now referring to infrastructure such as what we want to do with issues of these fire tenders. Now, you refer to fire tenders. When we
I'm not so sure if the video is playing correctly, so I want to replay the video.
Is now taken care of. The fifth area is social amenities. This is the area where you are now referring to infrastructure such as what we want to do with issues of these fire tenders. Now, you refer to fire tenders. When we procured and we are procuring fire tenders, obviously there is an agreement between the government of Zimbabwe and the government of Belarus as negotiated by the president and the Minister of Finance. And once that negotiation has taken place, local authorities are then invited, those who want to access this facility, to indicate whether they want to access that facility. And all the local authorities, minus some, did indicate that they would want to access that facility. It's not forced on them because the facility is optional for them, and we use their devolution funds because it's a facility which we believe will protect the population, will protect the properties, and will protect the environment, both urban and rural. So those who then said, we want fire tenders, they were told you can access the facility that has been negotiated by government. The last thing which we apply devolution funds is electricity, and we believe that everyone should not be left behind, and the grid has been extended throughout the country, and the local authorities should try to make sure that the institutions that they've built, the educational facilities, schools, the health facilities, and those critical facilities, both in urban and rural, should now be accessed electricity using these devolution funds. So I don't want to say in short. In short, this is what we do with devolution funds, from the way they are distributed and the way they are used by the local authorities. It's the decision of the local authorities as to how they want to apply.
So initially, in the beginning, the minister wrote to the councils, and he indicated that they had indeed agreed with Belarus that they were going to use the devolution funds to order for those fire trucks. However, when you need to see that these guys are not serious in terms of governance, they were asked the simple question. Let's say a rural council in Zaka, does it need the same capacity fire tender as Harare? Because in Harare, you are dealing with skyscrapers, you are dealing with high-rise buildings. But in Zaka, there is no high-rise building in Zaka, which means you will need much smaller and lesser complicated fire tender. So he failed to answer that question when he was asked. On another point, the people were raising that the MPs were raising issues and said, in Zaka, there might be need for water, but you have prioritized the fire tenders on our behalf. How have you reached that? Because the reason why there are councillors there is for them to know what is needed in their areas. And he failed also to answer that issue. And he was brought before the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee, where he went on to answer, and he changed his first stance and said councils are not forced to take these fire tenders. We just facilitated a deal. So you can actually see that that is the importance of having an opposition which is so strong and which is so serious in terms of holding accountable the government. That is what is very important. You can actually see that on the Pomona deal, there is also a struggle for him to tell why he is doing that. Because council is raising very important issues and saying, this is not our priority, we don't have money. Can we take it to say, you find your own dump site, we maintain our dump site, you do your project on your own dump site. And that is the issues they discussed yesterday. So Jacob Mafume was so firm in terms of making sure that this deal is reversed. And July Moyo mentioned that he was going on, as the government was going on to pay for the Pomona deal, but Jacob Mafume was demanding back the dump site, saying, give us our dump site. You proceed with your own issues, with your own Pomona deal. Government pays for that deal. We continue with our own. So you can actually see that he's under pressure, and he's feeling the pressure right now at this moment. He's feeling the pressure from the city council, from the residents themselves, because nobody agreed with him on anything. He's on his own together with his president. They are on their own. So you can actually see I was raising this issue where they went on for a groundbreaking ceremony yesterday without the mayor. Because as we move on, you are going to see that this is in this Mount Abden is in Marsh West, but going forward, it is going to be part of Harare. So you can actually see that it is a problem when you know very well that there are people who are supposed to be dealing with those issues. These are people from the local authorities. They were not represented. The minister was there, but he was representing government, central government, not the local government. It was not represented. The local government was not represented. And these are issues which we need to look closely, and we need to continue to speak about, so that we hold these people accountable. We don't let them do whatever they want to do. And in my view, I have a view that very soon they're going to lose this Pomona deal because it wasn't done properly. There are a lot of issues. If we are to see the court applying its rightful mind, we are going to see the Pomona deal being cancelled. We are going to see the Pomona deal not proceeding if we are to apply, if the judge is to apply his real mind, not the political mind. Stakas Lemoyo, July Moyo must desist from forcing the Pomona deal. People are struggling. Only because of Ashaimari, Vanongonomora, Mora busy. Yes, these are the people who are living in Borodale. And if you go to Borodale, they created their own associations where they have their own separate water, they have their separate sewer system, they have their separate electrical lines, and they also have access to government coupons. In cases of load shedding, they use my generators, which means they don't see what we see. They've built their special hospital recently. They've built their special hospital, and they are building another at the military bases in Harare. So you can actually see that they do what they want. They protect their own interests. but not the interest of the people of Zimbabwe. And that should make us raise some concern to say this is not so proper. We cannot continue to see July Moyo doing whatever they want. So thumbs up to the MPs who stood in parliament, who made sure that the fire tender deal was reversed. And indeed, it has failed because Harare City Council said we are not going to take any fire tender. And so as so many councils, they are not going to take those fire tenders. So because the problem is not only the government procuring, another problem is overpricing. These fire tenders were overpriced, and they are not of any different quality to match the prices. So you can actually see that we need to continue fighting. We need to continue holding them accountable. It is going to be a very long task, but the reason why we try by all means is to make sure that in the future we make them accountable. They may not face the accountability today, but in the future we will need them to answer some questions. We need them to come and clarify some issues. So thank you very much for coming. I have played the video during the beginning of this video. If you want to go to that video, please replay so that you'll be able to hear or to see that video. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your contributions. Thank you very much for your support. Subscribe, like, comment, and also share. Thank you very much.